Okay, what I have to say may take more than 3 minutes. Okay, I guess you probably know what I'm here to talk about, right? You do, anyhow, what I want to talk about is on the April 23rd Vindicator, the editorial, Ohio scores major victories for peak voter participation. And what the editorial is about is the state appropriated $1.25 million to send out a mailing to every registered voter in the state come this November to vote, because the turnout's high, which the Vindicator's article points out, which is good for democracy. It only serves to strengthen democracy. The very next day, this body turns around, calls for a special election on an income tax issue, and shrinks the vote, as opposed to maximum voter participation, which I'm against. I think this lady spoke that the special election gave the appearance of being sneaky. She's 100% correct. It isn't an appearance, it is sneaky. We should have postponed this to the November election, where you would get a better take on the viewpoint of the voters of this community with a larger turnout. This idea that it muddies the water to hold it in the general election, it doesn't hold water. It's a shallow explanation that only serves to insult the intelligence of the voters of this community. Okay, I want to go on further here. I have your minutes. April 22nd meeting. It's called a special meeting. It was advertised in the Vindicator as a regular meeting. Okay, and in that special meeting, anybody that reads it can only come to one reasonable conclusion. 4 people came to that meeting with a predetermined agenda that they were going to pass an increase in the voters in the city income tax, and they were going to do it by virtue of a special election. 3 of the council members, to your credit, and you represented a majority, and you should have held your ground, questioned the purpose of a special election. I think I have your comments in here. Mr. LeVay, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Teacher agreed. To give the voters notice and an opportunity to respond to the issue before you put it on the ballot, which is a reasonably intelligent thing to do if you want to get voters to support the tax issue. Okay. I have a copy of the ordinance and the resolution. And I have a copy of Ohio law as it pertains to public meetings. Section F. Every public body, by rule, shall establish a reasonable method whereby any person may determine the time and place of all regularly scheduled meetings, and the time, place, and purpose of all special meetings. You didn't advertise this as a special meeting. You advertised it as a regular meeting. The regular meetings were the 1st and 15th of April.
Wait, let me explain something.
Yeah, I'm directing this towards you because I know you're the law director.
Yeah, the notice on the website of the city indicated it was a special meeting. The notice sent to the Vindicator indicated that it was a special meeting.
No, Vindicator.
Hold on a minute. And the Vindicator published it wrong. That's not our fault. We sent the notice to the Vindicator that it was a special meeting, and the Vindicator made a mistake.
I anticipated that.
That's the
I
truth.
anticipated that the newspaper made a mistake. I anticipated that.
Right.
In any event, this fellow Morvay asked for extra time to give the people notice and an opportunity to respond. You had a whole week. You could have scheduled a meeting April 29th, and you still had 2 days to get it to the Board of Elections. for
Well, that's
special
not
election.
what I'm telling you is, though, in terms of the notice issue, the city did it right.
Well, regardless, I know that was going to be your excuse.
It's not an excuse, it's
I
the
know that
truth.
was going to be your defense that the Vindicator got it wrong. I knew that before I come here.
Well, good for you, you knew the truth, it's the
Okay.
truth. Look at our notice we sent to the
Well, I
Vindicator.
think it's, ultimately, I think it's the city's responsibility to get it right.
How's that possible? We send the
You had a
notice,
whole week.
well, that's a different argument. We send
Sure.
our notice to the Vindicator, they publish it wrong.
Yeah. I know that the reporter that covers these meetings, he got an award for his outstanding journalism, and he got it wrong 2 weeks in a row, right?
Well, I don't think that reporter is the fellow that publishes the notices, but he's right there, you could ask him.
You got it wrong 2 weeks in a row. Is that you?
Was it him?
Are you the reporter?
I don't do the notices. That's a separate person.
How does it get to the Vindicator?
We take it.
They send it to the person
send it
that
to the
does.
person.
Patty Burnett calls it in?
Email it.
We
You
email it.
email it. Who do you email it to? Just the Vindicator? Bertram D'Souza? Who?
News@vindy.com.
Anyhow, any resolution, rule, or formal action of any kind, this is Section H of the Ohio Revised Code, open meetings. Any resolution, rule, or formal action of any kind is invalid unless adopted in an open meeting of the public body. A resolution, rule, or ordinance, a resolution, or formal action adopted in an open meeting that results from deliberation in a meeting not open to the public is invalid. And I guess the last sentence of Section 8 would apply. A resolution, rule, or formal action adopted in an open meeting is invalid if the public body that adopted the resolution, rule, or formal action violated Division F of this section.